This is every major phone operating system explained. Palm OS. Palm OS is one of the earliest operating systems designed for smart mobile devices, first introduced back in the 1990s. It was originally developed for PDAs and later adapted for some of the first smartphones. The system was easy to use and very lightweight, with low resource consumption. However, it failed to evolve at the pace of the mobile industry and was officially discontinued in 2011. Symbian OS. Before the modern smartphone era even existed, Symbian was the most widely used mobile operating system in the world. Introduced in the late 1990s and extremely popular throughout the 2000s, Symbian was primarily used on Nokia phones, but it was also adopted by several other manufacturers. The system was originally designed for button-based phones, offering basic multitasking and simple applications. Although touchscreen support was added later on, its complex architecture and unintuitive interaction model were never truly built for a modern touch-first experience. As a result, Symbian was officially abandoned around 2014. BlackBerry OS. BlackBerry OS has its roots in BlackBerry pagers, quickly becoming the standard for business communication in the early 2000s. The first phones running BlackBerry OS appeared in 2002, introducing real-time push email, advanced multitasking, and centralized control through proprietary server infrastructure. However, its design, heavily focused on physical keyboards, made it difficult to adapt to the touchscreen era. Still, if you remember how satisfying it was to type on a BlackBerry, let us know in the comments. As a result, the system struggled to transition toward touchscreen interfaces and modern multimedia applications. In 2013, BlackBerry attempted a reset with BlackBerry 10, a new gesture-based operating system designed specifically for touchscreens, but its late launch and the lack of applications ultimately led to the platform's permanent decline. Windows Phone. Microsoft entered the mobile market in the early 2000s with Windows Mobile, an operating system derived from Windows CE, originally designed for PDAs and stylus-driven devices. Although it offered advanced features and strong integration with the Microsoft ecosystem, the experience felt closer to a miniaturized PC than to a modern smartphone. As a result, in 2010, Microsoft relaunched the platform under the name Windows Phone, introducing a completely new user interface based on live tiles. The system was smooth and well-optimized, but the limited app ecosystem and low developer interest significantly restricted its adoption. In 2015, Microsoft attempted one final transition with Windows 10 Mobile, but the platform was officially discontinued in 2017. iOS. iOS is the mobile operating system developed by Apple, first released in 2007 alongside the original iPhone. Initially known as iPhone OS, iOS was built from the ground up for touchscreen interaction with no physical keyboard or stylus, completely redefining how a smartphone is used. iOS is well known for being a closed operating system, developed exclusively for Apple hardware. This approach allows for very tight integration between software and internal components. Updates are delivered directly by Apple and roll out simultaneously to all supported devices, effectively eliminating fragmentation. The platform prioritizes stability, performance, and security, often at the expense of advanced customization. In addition, iOS introduced several concepts that later became industry standards, such as the modern touch-based interface, a centralized app store, and a tightly controlled application ecosystem. This model helped define the modern smartphone and directly influenced the emergence and evolution of Android. Android is a mobile operating system developed by Google. The platform is built on the Linux kernel, on top of which Google developed its own software framework, user interface, and application ecosystem. Pure Android, in its completely unmodified form, is available on Google's Pixel smartphones. Other brands such as Nokia, Motorola, or Sony use versions that are very close to stock Android, with only minor proprietary tweaks. The main advantages of stock Android include fast updates, an intuitive interface, strong stability, and the absence of manufacturer-imposed bloatware. Android is distributed as open-source software, meaning manufacturers are free to use the core codebase to create their own implementations. On a global scale, Android is the most widely used mobile operating system. It runs on billions of devices, ranging from affordable smartphones to cutting-edge flagship models, and is present in nearly every market worldwide. Its popularity is driven by broad compatibility, a high degree of customization freedom, and a massive application ecosystem available through Google Play. Because Android is distributed as open-source software, numerous custom interfaces and software derivatives have been developed on top of it. These are created by different manufacturers to differentiate their devices and to add proprietary features. Thus, we have OneUI. One UI is Samsung's custom interface built on top of Android. It significantly changes the system's visual design and structure, with a strong focus on ergonomics, one-handed usability, and deep integration with the Samsung ecosystem. Although it is still based on Android at its core, the overall user experience is clearly distinct. MIUI. MIUI is Xiaomi's Android-based interface, used on its smartphones and mobile devices from 2010 until 2024, replaced by Xiaomi HyperOS. It offers a cleaner interface, faster app loading, and established connectivity between devices. It feels like I've seen something like this before. OxygenOS. OxygenOS is the interface originally associated with OnePlus. In its early days, it was very close to stock Android. Over time, however, it evolved by integrating elements from ColorOS, the system developed by Oppo, resulting in a more complex experience that is noticeably different from standard Android. ColorOS. ColorOS is Oppo's modified Android platform, focused on animations, smart features, and aggressive battery optimizations. EMUI. EMUI was Huawei's Android-based interface until 2019. After losing access to Google services, Huawei began transitioning to HarmonyOS, its own operating system which, in certain versions, still maintains compatibility with Android applications. What was the first phone operating system you ever used? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this kind of video, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you give us a like and leave a comment, it really helps us out. Thank you.